Okay, so I just realized that I didn't hit the record button and I started talking for about 3 minutes, so I'm just going to start over. But I am here today reviewing Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book of the Lunar Chronicles, and the first one was Cinder. If you have not read Cinder, I advise you to click out of this video, read Cinder, and then come back to this video someday, because while I'm not going to spoil Scarlet for you guys, I will spoil Cinder, and I don't mean to, so goodbye now if you haven't read it. Here's a little recap of what happened by the end of Cinder. So Cinder had to go to the ball to warn Kai not to marry Queen Levana, because once she marries him, then she has the power over Earth, so she could just murder him anyway. So Cinder had to put a stop to that, and basically her plan blew up in her face, and Kai and everyone else found out she's cyborg, and so she was put into a prison, and then Dr. Erlin reveals to her that she is the long-lost Princess Celine, the princess that Kai has been working so hard to track down because she is the rightful ruler of Luna, and she is in danger because Queen Levana wants to find her. At this point, the queen doesn't realize that Cinder is this long-lost princess. So she tried to kill Cinder when she was a 3-year-old little girl, and she failed, obviously, because there were people who felt like Cinder's life was worth saving because she is meant to do great things and take back the throne. So now we are in book 2, where Cinder was given a new cyborg hand by Dr. Erlin, and he's basically helping her escape. He gives her this hand, and he teaches her, basically, he gives her the idea to break out of prison because she has her lunar powers, so she can do mind tricks and things like that and get out of prison and meet him in Africa. We don't know why he asked to meet in Africa, of all places, but that's the plan. Cinder miscalculates, and she ends up in someone else's prison cell, and long story short, she didn't want to leave him behind, so she brought him along on her journey of breaking out of jail. The person that she takes on her journey with her is locked up because he's a thief. He had stolen a military ship, and Cinder figures that she could use him because she could use his ship to get away. So off they go, and their journey begins. So let's talk about Scarlet for a moment. If you don't know already, Scarlet is a retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood. She walks around with a red hoodie, and she lives on her grandma's farm. Scarlet, she was out delivering one day because her grandma, they have a farm, they have a business, and she was delivering stuff to a restaurant one day, and she comes home and her grandma went missing. Her ID chip was basically gouged out of her, and so the bloody chip was just left behind. Her port screen was still in the house, and she never goes anywhere without it. So basically, Scarlet knows that Grandma has been kidnapped. I like this wolf character because he's very three-dimensional, you know? It's hard to figure him out. Sometimes he seems like he's a good guy, sometimes he seems like he's a bad guy, but at the same time, I don't know, you can't help but to want to trust this guy. He seems totally dangerous, but totally cool at the same time. Emperor Kai is in a tough situation right now because Queen Levana is saying that basically you come up with this cyborg girl or I'm going to launch a full attack on Earth. So he's desperately searching for Cinder, and so he sends out all of these officers to search for Cinder and Thorn. They don't really care about Thorn, but because he's the one that is helping her get away in this ship, and he's wherever he is where she is, so they're after the two of them. So this entire story, that's what Cinder is doing. She's running away. Somehow they're on this huge aircraft, and it's called Rampion, by the way, with all these people looking for these fugitives. How is it possible that they couldn't track it down? This huge thing just hovering around the Earth's atmosphere. Anyway, so Cinder decides to take chances, go to Europe, and find this woman by the name of Michelle Benoit. Gosh, I hope I said that right. That sounds totally wrong, but they want to find her because she has information on Princess Celine. Scarlet and Wolf going? Well, they are on their way to look for Grandma, which she is in Paris supposedly. So they take a train over, a hover train, and they're like jumping off of trains and jumping onto trains. It's all very exciting. I like their adventure. Though I like Cinder's character a lot more than Scarlet, just because Cinder is a lot more three-dimensional. I don't like Scarlet that much, actually. I like Wolf, but yeah, sorry, Scarlet. She's kind of annoying. As far as we know, she's not lunar, so there's no reason why she is able to resist their mind control. So they had to kidnap Scarlet's father, and eventually they wanted to get Scarlet so they could watch, or make the old lady watch her families torture themselves and die, and maybe that way they can get the answers out of her. Hard to do a review without giving spoilers away, but try to follow along here. So at some point, Wolf goes through this change, and Scarlet is in danger once again, and so she's running away, running out of the opera house and into the street, and two people save her, and those two people are Cinder and Thorn. Cinder shoots a dart at the creature, and then they basically have to drag Scarlet to their aircraft, and that's what's annoying about her. She can't accept the fact that they can't talk, they can't explain it right now. Just go, because you're in danger. Now in their group they've got Cinder, Thorn, Aiko, Scarlet, and Wolf. So now they're all running away together, and another thing that drove me crazy about Scarlet is that she's like pointing fingers, blaming Cinder, and here we are. Just keep in mind that Cinder is only a teenager, okay? She is blaming Cinder for letting this happen in the first place, and things that happened to her grandma because of basically she could have put a stop to what Queen Levana is doing, but Cinder didn't even know until a week ago that she is this almighty, powerful princess. So Scarlet, I don't know, she's acting like a child, and she's actually older than Cinder, so I don't know, in every book, there's always that one character that you're kind of like, in a desperate attempt to save the world, Kai makes some irrational decisions, and they're not quite right. And we won't know how that all plays out until the next book, which won't come out until 2014, I think. Let's see. Soon from Marissa Meyer, Crest 2014, Winter 2015. I don't know which characters they will be about. A retelling of another popular fairy tale, perhaps, but 2014 is a long time away. And I really want to know what happens. You know, I actually don't really care what happens to Scarlet. They are saying Scarlet's story continues. Her story seemed kind of irrelevant. I mean, I feel like Marissa Meyer did a good job in bringing the two worlds together from, you know, Eastern Commonwealth to Europe. These two very unlikely girls come together in the same place and time. Oops. But I feel like Scarlet's character has served her purpose, or rather her grandmother served her purpose, and Scarlet, she's just kind of there. I don't know. She doesn't really seem like the protagonist. I still feel like this is all about Cinder, which, yeah, it is, and I want to continue reading on to the rest of the books because I want to know what happens to Cinder. If you read this book, please leave comments below. Let me know what you thought of it. I personally really enjoyed it. I like this one a little more than the first book just because I really like the adventure and that sense of excitement, you know, avoiding the cops and the fighting scenes. It was all pretty exciting. The first book, because there was so much of her, you know, evil, ugly stepmother, she just made me really angry. So I like this book a bit more. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. So right now I am reading, or I haven't started, but I will tonight, Fever by Lauren De Stefano. This is the second book of the Chemical Garden trilogy. The first one was Wither. I have a review up for that book. So I want to finish up the series. I have Sever on my bookshelf, so I just want to get through this so then I can get into my Covenant series, or maybe another one. I don't know. There's so many books in my TBR pile that I don't know what I'm going to get into next, but thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!